Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this Chucky and Tiffany nail set. It was my first time ever attempting this, so I'm really excited to show you how I did it. Let's jump right into it. So I recently watched the Chucky and Tiffany movie. I think it's The Bride of Chucky. For like, I think it was kind of like the first time ever because I had seen it before, but I just couldn't remember anything about it. And I recently watched it, and as soon as I watched it, I was like, oh, I definitely need to make a Chucky and Tiffany nail set. I knew for a fact that I really wanted to do it. So when I got the opportunity to do a freestyle sale for my Instagram, I for sure jumped on it and I put Chucky and Tiffany as an option, and thankfully somebody wanted it. So I was super excited to make a super cool set for her. So I'm starting off with Chucky, and I'm starting off with just a skin tone color. This is a color from Nail Reserve. I'm gonna go in order of the colors that I'm using, and I'll put them in the description box. But this is like a perfect nude color. Honestly, it was like the perfect match already. The only thing I did is I added a tiny bit of white. The thing with Chucky is that I had to add some shading, so I needed kind of like a clear base. But I'm using this color and this color mixed together for his hair. He does have red hair. He is a ginger, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going ahead and doing red hair, and then his hair is kind of messy, so I just kind of tried my best to do his hair. I did have a photo that I was looking at on Pinterest. I am going to find it, and after I'm doing his hair, I will put it here for you guys so you can see what I was looking at as the inspo. But I basically was trying my best to show the hair, and it was kind of hard because I knew the face was the focal point of the nail set, so I wasn't able to fit so much of the hair in there, but you could still tell that the hair is there. So that is my main thing that I wanted to make sure you could see it. And like I said, his face color is just flat, so I went ahead and did the color blocking method. Anytime you're doing any type of character, you can do color blocking. So the color blocking here would be the hair. So I did the nude color for the face, and then I cured it. I just did an overall rough outline of what the shape is going to look like for the face, and then I went ahead in with the color of the hair. That is the other color block I did. And then now I'm going to do more color blocking by color blocking in the eyes. So I'm doing white for the eyes. I'm just doing some white circles, and then white for the mouth as well, because he does have like a little teethy smile, like creepy little smile that he has. So I am going ahead and doing the eyes, just a rough draft, I guess you could say, or just a rough sketch. Yeah, like a rough sketch of the eyes. For Chucky, he is actually surprisingly not too difficult to draw. If you want to try to attempt this, I highly recommend you at least kind of try it out and just see how you would do, because he has so much scarring on his face that it's like kind of hard to not make it look at least kind of good. And I have never in my life painted something like this before. Like, I've painted like a similar, like basic things like Scream or like Oogie Boogie and Jack. Like, you guys see that on my channel all the time, but like an actual kind of quote-unquote person, doll character, never. I've never done anything like that because you have to add shading and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do Chucky like kind of the easy way. So here I'm kind of taking the easy route. I grabbed a tan brown, and I'm just trying to do some rough shading. I am not making it perfect, and I am dry shading. So this is just a dry brush with a little bit of the brown, and I just went ahead and went directly on the overall base of the face and just around where the hairline would be, and the shadowing on the side of his face here by his chin. And I just let that cure, and honestly, I was like, I'll worry about the rest later. Like, I'm not going to need too much shading and too much of like a perfect look, because his face is so scarred up that it didn't even need to be perfect. But now I'm going in with a burgundy red color, and I'm going to be going ahead and doing all of the scars around his eye. So he has one specific eye that is very, very scarred. Oh my gosh, you guys, I totally forgot to input the inspo, but I'm gonna put it here. I promise I'm gonna put it right after I'm done with this clip. But he has like a lot of scarring, so it's like not really that big of a deal. You just kind of got to go back and forth with like these kind of lightning bolt type of shapes, and just like use a thin brush so that you get the thicker and then thinner lines that you're looking for, and then like a big scar on the side of his face. And let me input the inspo before I forget. So this was my main inspo for Chucky. This one, I knew for sure I was kind of trying to portray him like this, but I did not like the photo of Tiffany on this one. Honestly, it does not give me Tiffany vibes. It gives me like a knockoff Tiffany, honestly. So this one, I love Tiffany in this one way more, and then also in this next photo. So these are my inspos for all of them, and I also took inspo from this picture for Chucky's scars and like cuts and stuff. And then this one for Tiffany was my other main inspo, except I knew I didn't want to draw her with her mouth open. I wanted to just draw her lips. So that's just some background for my Tiffany that I'm going to make in the same video. But now I'm going ahead and doing Chucky again. I am going ahead and doing the blue eyes. He does have blue eyes, so I'm going ahead and doing a baby blue, kind of like a muted blue color. And I'm just doing some circles in the eyes, and then I'm also drawing out quickly just some lips. It is also going to have a bunch of scars around it, so it doesn't have to be that perfect, honestly. And right now it looks like nothing. Like, that's crazy how much detailing just really adds to your nail set, because right now it looks like nothing. And then I had to make sure the lips looked a little bit more darker, so I did add a little line of just like some maroon really quickly, just like not trying to do it too perfect. And then the nose. So this part was what I was kind of nervous for. He has a very tiny nose, and he does have this like lip, this like indent on top of his lip that we all have, but his is very pronounced. And then he has a very tiny little nose. He is a doll, so like I had to make it tiny. And then the scrunches in between his eyes are what really makes him have that angry, evil type of look. So those scrunches by the eyes are very important, and I definitely had to pronounce those with a darker color later, just to make them stand out more, because right now they're not standing out nearly as much as I wanted them to. So you'll see in a second what I have to do there. I'm doing the creepy little smile lines by his mouth, because those make it look like he's smiling a little bit better. And just like paying attention to all these little details that really add up to the final result. So this is where I also took the same color and kind of added some shading. So overall, this light tan color was what I was using for like a quote-unquote rough sketch of what I was going to do underneath, and then going over it on top with other colors to like shade and add detail and stuff like that. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm adding more detail, like I mentioned, and I'm just adding some black gel polish. So I went in with the Baddest black liner gel from Nailzbydev, and I'm just going in and kind of outlining all the parts I want to be a little darker. So around his eyes definitely have to be darker, and then in between the scars. So I wanted the scars to look a little deeper. They looked a little too like see-through for my liking, so I did go in with some black, and this really added to it. And this is just to add like more shadowing, not to make it look like he's like wearing eyeliner or anything, but just for the shadows. And then when there was barely anything left on my brush, I did go ahead and outline other parts of his face. And I forgot to mention that this is the Baddest black liner gel, just a tiny bit of it mixed with the triple fudge liner gel from Nailzbydev. So if you guys know, I've been using the triple fudge liner gel so much. It is like a really dark, almost burgundy brown liner gel. It is definitely more on the red tone. So having this liner gel for Chucky was like a game changer, because it just worked out perfectly. And I just did some really quick little teeth. I wasn't trying to do it too perfect, but honestly it worked out, ended up looking really good. And then like I said, I used that mixture of those two liner gels to add more depth and everything into his scars and his cuts on his face to make them look deeper and more red, I guess, or a little darker. And then I'm just going in around his mouth, outlining his mouth a little bit. And then this is the same color I'm using on his hair. So you can see here I'm going in on his hair and adding the detailing in the lines. This is just the way you can make hair really look like hair, is by adding the strokes. So by adding the strokes in the hair and adding like the quote-unquote floppiness, or the natural way a hair would actually fall, is how you make it look so realistic. This goes for any type of character, almost every character that has hair, like longer hair. You're gonna need to use this method, and then shading it right here where his hair flip would be. That's where natural shading would be, so I'm going ahead and doing that. And then just adding overall just some rough lines, not really paying too much attention to it, and going ahead and using the same liner gel. And I am using the 9mm liner brush from Nailzbydev for this nail set today. And then I am going ahead and adding some lines onto the side here. I cannot forget the side of the nail. Sometimes it's like inevitable and you might forget to do those little sides, but I try to always pay attention to that. And then now here I am kind of outlining his face. I did make him look a little bit chubbier than I would like, so I do add some shading later by his jawline to make it look a little less like his bottom chin is so big, just because I know his face is a little chubby and round, but I wanted to add way more shading, so that's why I went ahead and did that as well. And then yeah, I was kind of just going over it here. I wasn't curing anything, I was just going back and forth until I liked what I had. Then I went ahead and cured afterwards. But I'm also honestly so glad that I did Chucky first and not Tiffany, because Chucky kind of warmed me up to be able to do Tiffany. I knew that Tiffany was going to be a little bit harder because she does have way more shading. She doesn't have any scarring or anything on her face, so I knew I had to make her quote unquote perfect. Like, I had very little room for error, whereas with Chucky I had way more room for error if I needed it. So that's what I'm saying, if you want to create a Chucky set and you want to get into drawing, I have so many of you guys that tell me that my videos help you with like getting into characters, and that some of you guys even thought that you would never like it, but then after trying it out because of my video, you guys actually are liking it. So like, that makes me so happy. And Chucky is a great one to start if you guys want to try to do something and you feel like you want to start stepping into kind of portraiture, but like not obviously, because it's very hard. That's at least me, that's where I'm at. I don't want to start doing portraits like that, like of like people, but this is like a great kind of in between, kind of middle, to where you could start getting into it and at least practice a little bit without feeling too overwhelmed or too stressed out because you think it's not going to come out good. Like, Chucky has lots of room for error where you can make a bunch of errors and it's not going to show. So this is why it's so great to try something out like this and see if you would like it. Honestly, if you're going to try this Chucky set out, or at least just try a Chucky portrait, just make sure you do the eyes kind of close together like I did here. You don't want them to be super far apart. And then you want to do the scrunches by the nose to make him have that evil type of look, if you're trying to go for the same look I went for. And then you want to give him that really evil little smile, because he's always has that evil little smile on his face. So that is definitely just like 3 tips that I want to give you. And just that rough little shading I did around his hairline, that really helped with like the overall color of the set. So now I'm going in and adding the stitches around some of the lines. Some of them are just cracks in his face because he is a doll, and then some of them are actual stitches with like the staples in them. So I am going ahead and adding the stitching, and then now I'm going in with some shading around his jaw like I mentioned earlier. Just like this side of the face is a little more shaded, so I'm just going ahead and adding a little bit of some base coat mixed with a little bit of a dark brown, and then I'm adding some shading here. So I think Nailzbydev does sell a brown shading gel that would be perfect for this, but I don't have it. I just make my own and it works great. So you guys don't need to feel like you need to buy these shading products and everything that people come out with. I'm not just talking about her, I'm talking about anybody. Like, of course you could, because it does save some time, but if you guys can't afford it, like, don't feel stressed out that you need to buy these products, because you can draw characters like this just by having a few key things. Like, all you need is like a good brush, a good black liner gel, and like a good a few good like nude base colors, and you could totally draw Chucky. Like, it is, and you just need like a red, because even if you don't have the triple fudge liner gel, as long as you have a black liner gel and it's like a thick consistency, you can mix it with a little bit of red and it'll make like the triple fudge liner gel that I'm using. It'll make that same type of effect. So don't feel stressed out. That's what I did before I had any of these products. So now I'm going ahead and I am doing the same brown mixed with base coat for the shading, and I'm doing this right here on the side of his face that I said I shaded by his chin, and that is going to be where his neck is at. I knew I wasn't going to be able to fit. I was not going to be able to fit a lot of his clothing. Unfortunately, I did want to get his outfit in there, but I just I didn't draw his face so up high. I drew it a little bit lower, so I didn't have a lot of room, and I just felt like it was going to work out either way, and it totally worked out, so it's okay. But if you want to do his outfit, just draw the face a little bit up higher. And another thing, if you're going to start trying to get into characters, I would recommend trying to start painting it on a longer nail first, then slowly working your way to shorter nails, because drawing on shorter nails is a million times harder than drawing on long nails. So yeah, that is another tip in case you are a beginner. And then of course, anytime you add shading, you want to add highlight. So I'm going in with a milky white. You can just grab some white, mix with some base coat, and you're good to go. And in my case, I didn't want it to be too white. Like, I noticed here it was a little too white, so I do go in and mix just a tiny bit of red. So I made almost like a light, like jelly red, like a milky jelly red. Like, milky white with a teeny tiny little dot of red, mix it in almost like a light pink, and then that's my highlight color for his hair. And then I'm going ahead here and grabbing some silver chrome gel that I got from Shein. Actually, it's very watery, but it does work. It gets the job done. I am using that to accentuate the staples on his face. So I did go ahead and just do that in random parts of the stitches wherever I wanted, and really had fun with it. And look at how it looks in the light. It looks so cool. And that just makes it look like the stitches are there. I do incorporate this technique on more of the nails as well. And because there was a tiny little bit of his shirt showing, I did go ahead and do just the red little shirt line, because he does have like a shirt that's red, blue, gray, green. It's like striped, but the top is red. So I just went ahead in with the top, and then I went ahead and outlined that with the black gel polish. And he is coming together, you guys. It is coming together so nicely. I was honestly so surprised on how great it was looking already. This totally looks like Chucky. I mean, not just even because of the scarring. I just feel like I got the facial expression down perfectly. And for being my first time ever drawing something like this, I was very proud of myself. Like I said, you guys have seen me paint a whole bunch of other type of characters, but I've never tried anything like this. Like, he is so similar to drawing an actual person that I was so intimidated by it, but I'm glad I pushed myself and just like honestly had fun with it. And I hope the person that got them really loved it. I don't know, I didn't hear anything back, but like I hope so. So yeah, this was like one of those sets where I just wanted to keep it. Like, I did not want to give it away because I just loved it so much. I just wanted to keep it so bad, and I was almost like, oh my gosh, should I just make another one and like keep that one? But I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I might get a chance next year to make an even better Chucky and Tiffany one, or maybe I'll improve even more by then and make a super cool one, and I can make it, I don't know. I just tried to like be super optimistic about it because I was so sad about letting it go. But now I'm grabbing some of my Nailzbydev Bloodbath gel polish. This is like the perfect gel polish for Halloween. If you don't already have this one in your collection for Halloween, you need it. It is so good. It is just like the perfect blood color. And I'm using this to just shade overall the stitching and the cracks in his face, and also to shade a little bit of his shirt right there. And I totally forgot to mention, I did go in with a dark blue glittery color on the background, and I am just going in here, and I don't know what I was trying to do here. I have no idea, but yeah, I went in with the glitter in the background, and I just wanted it to look like he was outside for some reason. So that's what I decided to do. Because I knew for the Tiffany one, I was going to go like a little bit of a different route. He already had so much red and like stitching and cracks in his face that I wanted the background to be a different color. But I did do some blood here just for fun, some blood drips. Like, honestly, let's have fun with it. It's just nails. So I just decided to do some, even though you can't really tell that much, it is there. So that's why I like it. And then once I was done, I did decide to go in and top coat. So I am top coating the whole nail. I just got too excited and I wanted to see it finished already. So I was like, I need to see it top coated. And once that was all done being top coated, I am now going ahead and working on the rest of the hand. So the rest of the hand is going to be all nude for the base, because I'm going to do some French tips and just some different overall designs that make me think of Chucky. So I'm going ahead and doing this nude base color. This color is in my Amazon storefront. It is from the brand Ailsa, I think, AILLSA, I think. And yeah, so I'm going in with 2 coats of this color all over the nails. So once I had that down and cured, I decided to go in with a black French on the thumb and the pinky. So I'm going ahead with a black French tip, and I'm just using my black gel polish. This is called Baddest Black, I think. Oh no, Lights Out. It's called Lights Out from Nailzbydev, and I'm just using this with my French tip brush, and I'm going ahead and doing the French and then filling it all in. And I am going to do a little bit of glitter on this one. I wanted this to still have a little bit of a glam effect, honestly, just not too much. Like, I didn't want to add rhinestones as much as my heart wanted to. I was like, no, like, this needs to be like an all hand painted set. I really wanted to portray like Chucky in this nail set, so I did do a little bit of glam, so you guys will see that in a second, but no bling or like rhinestones, I guess. And yeah, so I'm just filling it in with the black gel polish on those 2 nails. And then now for his catchphrase, I know in the first movie he's always like, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" So I wanted to add wanna play on this nail, just to kind of put one of his catchphrases on there. So I went ahead and did that, and then I do like a really cool chrome and then like red gel method, so you guys will see that, but I'll just let you guys watch this part. So once I'm done with like the red part on wanna play, I felt like I was gonna leave it like that, but I do go back in with some chrome later, or like a chrome gel. So here on the pointer finger, I wanted to make it more gory by adding a little bit more of this red gel polish, and I wanted to somehow portray his love for unaliving. I wanted to portray his love for that on this nail. So I was originally just gonna do these little drips, and I was like, no, this is like too basic, like we need to step it up a notch for sure. So I was like, this is just not cutting it, like it's not giving what it needs to give. So I went ahead and wiped it right off, and I was like, okay, let's do something different. Let's do a little bit more of a messier look, just like this. So I went ahead and grabbed a frayed round brush, just like something that I just have sitting around, and I went ahead and just made a really messy type of look. And then after that, I am going ahead and doing some stitching. So I want to add some more stitches on these nails, so I went ahead and did it up here, and I'm just using that mixture of the black with the triple fudge liner gel. And like I said earlier, if you don't have something like this, just use a black liner gel, mix a little tiny bit of red into it, and it'll give you the same type of look. And then I'm going ahead and doing some stitching over here and just like kind of everywhere and going in back and forth. And then I do add some of the little staples as well, just to really add to the effect of the nail set. So while that's curing, I just go ahead and wipe my brush off. I am wiping my brush off after every single scene. If you guys see me, or not scene, after every clip, I guess, if you guys see me going back and forth with the same brush with like different colors, it's because I'm wiping off my brush in between. And when I wipe off my brush in between, I am wiping off with some alcohol. So I had these little tiny knife nail charms, so I was like, I need to somehow incorporate this into the set, like it'll be perfect. So I went ahead and looked at it, and I grabbed some McCart rhinestone gel, and I'm like, okay, let me see how I can make this look cool. I was originally going to put it this way, but then I was like, you know what, let me flip it. So I flipped it over and I put it like this, which it'll just like stay with me, it's gonna make sense in a second. I could have left it the other way, but I really wanted it to be facing this way, and I felt like I wanted to add my own detail on it. So I added some black gel polish right on it there where the handle part would be. I painted it with black, and then now I'm going in with my Nailzbydev bloody color that I told you guys about, and I'm just adding some right here at the tip of the charm, and then I'm going ahead and just leaving that, kind of spreading it, and then I'm going to be curing it. And I felt like this just really was definitely way better than me going in with the charm the other way around. I felt like the other way it just did not look as like the way I wanted it to look. And with the same silver chrome gel, I added the little knife screws, like the 3 of them, so I went ahead and added that. And then now I'm going ahead and adding more chrome gel onto this part of the charm, just so that it looks even more chrome. And I do give it a second to settle before before I put it into cure. Anytime you're using a chrome gel, give it a second to settle because the chrome will just look way more chromy. I don't know how to explain it, but once it settles, it's just way more reflective. If you go in and cure it right away, it looks way more streaky, so give it a second and then cure it. And because I went ahead and added more staples to the other ones, I wanted to add a little more detail by adding some red shading. So I grabbed a little bit of base coat gel with just a tiny bit of red, and I'm creating this like I don't know, like this color to make it look like more realistic, I guess, more shaded. So I went ahead and did that, and I am loving how this is looking. I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to do, what I was going for. You guys know I mentioned this to you before, that I do not usually go in with like a plan. Like I always go in with my freestyles last minute and just think of things on the spot. I never know what I'm gonna do ahead of time unless I like draw it out, which I did for a few nail sets recently, but I did not do that for this one. For this one, I completely freestyled off the top of my head. I did not get inspo from anywhere except those inspo pictures of Chucky and Tiffany, but other than that, I freestyled everything else. So I was really having fun with it, and this is definitely one where I feel like I really let my creative freedom just like, or my creative mind just flow, I guess, and I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, and we're already 30 minutes into the video, you guys, and we have still an almost 30 minutes more. So I apologize, this is a very long video, but just grab a snack. Hopefully you're listening to this while you are working or busy or doing something so that you don't have to sit here and watch for an hour. But yeah, I love talking about this. I'm very passionate when it comes to this, as you guys can probably tell. So yeah, I just love teaching you guys my tips and tricks to creating some fun nails. And Halloween is one of my favorite holidays ever since I was little, so it's just like so fun to be able to do something like this now. Like if I was young and seeing that this is what I was doing, teaching you guys how to do stuff like this, I would literally freak out. So this is like my dream. But now I'm going in with some chrome around the Wanna Play, just with the same chrome from Shein. And I did go in with a silver reflective gel just at the tips of the nails, and I ombreed it up on the French nails just to create like a glittery ombre effect, and it felt like it looked so good, so I really love that. And I am just kind of outlining the Wanna Play letters, and then yeah, so that's what I did there. And then now I'm adding just some stitching here. I wanted to add some more detail. You guys know I'm like so extra to the point where like this isn't even necessary, but I just wanted to, so I went ahead and added that. And then I'm doing one on the pinky as well, facing the other way, and I'm using my skinny long liner brush for this. This is the same liner brush that I use for my French tips, and you guys are going to be so excited when I tell you this. If you guys have been waiting for my brushes to launch, I think I have a launch date. I might announce it in a video soon, but I'm really excited. So I'm like, finally, like I get to tell you guys that, because I've been making you guys wait for so long. But we're getting our ish together, you guys. We're finally getting there. So yeah, now I'm going ahead and just top coating the nails, and I'm just going ahead and making sure it's all nice and even, and top coating every single nail. So now I'm going to be getting started on Tiffany. So I'm going to use the same base color that I used for Chucky, but I'm going ahead and doing a rough outline of her face. I knew that whereas with Chucky, I did his face a little bit off to the side, like almost like turned. I wanted her face to be just face like head on. So I decided to do that, and I'm going ahead and just doing the circle and then the neck and then the chest area, and I'm going ahead and doing that. And then once that's done, I'm going to cure. Now I'm just going in with the quick little shading technique that I used for Chucky, where I just grabbed the brown color, like a tan brown, and I'm going ahead and just doing the outline of the face really quick and just blending it in the best I could with a dry brush. And then once that's done and cured, I decided to go in with the hair. Unfortunately, on this part, my camera did die on me, so there's nothing I could do, or not my camera, but my phone, so there was no way for me to get that part on film, which I got so mad. So I got mad about that. So I just did the hair really quick with like a light yellow mixed with a little teeny tiny little dot of orange and some white gel polish, and I went ahead and created the hair color. So it's like a blonde, like a kind of like yellowy blonde color. And then I went ahead and did some purple jelly gel polish for the eyeshadow, and I'm just going in and creating an overall shape of where I want the eyes to go. I was kind of scared for this part because I didn't do the eyes first, which I should have done. Like I told you guys, the color blocking with the white gel first, so I just decided to go in with the eyeshadow first, but it did work out either way, so it's okay. And I'm just going in and doing the eye shape really quickly, like I said, an overall sketch just to make sure it looks right before I go in with the harsher lines. And for her eyes, I definitely did do layers and layers of detail, building up slowly before I like got to the final result that I liked. And here I am adding a little bit of like a dark red because I thought this is what I wanted for the blush, but it didn't really work out, but I still blended it in, but you could see it just didn't work out that well. So I do end up going in with a baby pink color for the blush. But this just created more of like a contour effect, I guess, rather than a blush effect. So this is where I went in with the bright bubblegum pink, and I just went ahead and mixed that with some base coat to create the shading, quote unquote pink shading gel. And I'm just going ahead and doing that for the blush. And then now I'm color blocking the eyes with just some white gel. And the white gel I use is in my Amazon storefront. It is from Melody Susie. It is so good. That is what I use every single day, so like literally every day. So I'm going ahead and just doing that and just creating an overall look of what the eyes are going to look like. She is facing face on, so it was kind of hard to get them perfectly symmetrical. Honestly, when you do a character that's facing off to the side a little bit, you have way more freedom to kind of make one eye bigger and one eye smaller, but when the character is facing you, it's a little harder to have that freedom. And then I did add a little bit of highlight down here by where the chin would be by just creating by just adding more of that color in that I originally put down for her face. And then unfortunately I was kind of covering the camera here with my hand. I was getting really into drawing the character and didn't realize that I was like covering the where the camera is or like the lens, so I just went ahead and did more eyeshadow there. And then once I was done with that, I went in with some black gel polish and I'm just doing the eyebrows. Her eyebrows are black and they're very, very thin, so I went ahead and did that and just trying to make them look like as identical as I could, but I was just trying my best. They are ever so slightly thicker in the front and then they go really, really skinny and curved around her eye. So I just try to do that, and then I'm going in with the same black gel polish, whatever was left on my brush, and outlining the eyes a little bit better. And then this is creating more of like that eyeliner type of look, and this is going to be all the way around her eye, not just on the top lash line. It's going to be like all the way around. So I'm going ahead and doing that. So we definitely had to add the makeup correctly on Tiff's face because Tiff is a baddie. Like, we had to make sure that we captured that in this painting. And she does also have green eyes, so I went in with this really beautiful green and I did that for the eyes, and then I did the pupils and then just outlined the pupils or just outline the eyeball, I guess. And now I'm going in with her lip color. So this lip color is almost like the color I used to outline all of Chucky earlier. It is like a black, but not a pure black. It's like has a little hint of like a burgundy red in it. So I went ahead and did that for her lips, and her lips are very, very pronounced by the Cupid's bow area. So I went ahead and did that, and they are slightly curved upwards like if she's smiling. So I went ahead and did that as well. And once I had that down and I had the lips exactly where I wanted, then I knew for sure I was going to have room for the nose, which was very important when you're doing any type of character proportions or everything. So I had to try to practice on that. So I don't know if you guys were able to tell, but here I am going in with the light brown color, and I'm just going ahead and really accentuating her features that make her her. Like, I feel like Tiff is very known for her dimples. Like, not known, but like this, like seeing this on her face really makes you know that it's Tiff. So I went ahead and did that, and then I went ahead and pronounced her smile lines. Her smile lines are very pronounced, so I went ahead and did that. And then unfortunately it got cut off again when I was trying to do some highlight or some shading on the hair, but I grabbed a little bit of black mixed with some base coat, and I went ahead and added the shading, so like a dark gray color, and I just went ahead and did a bunch of lines, almost like highlights, that made her hair look like she's like not a natural blonde, but like kinda. So I went ahead and did that. I don't really know how to explain it. And then I'm also darkening her roots, because that is also something that Tiff definitely has. And then once you add any type of shading, of course, you have to go back in with some highlight. So I went back in with a yellowy white mixture, and I added a little more of her original like blonde hair color, I guess, back into it to highlight a little bit better. And this just really added some more to the hair. And I did also shade right by the sides of her neck where the bottom of her hair would be, because there is going to be natural shading there as well. And then of course going in with the hair around her face and just accentuating that, highlighting, shading, kind of going back and forth until I felt like I liked the way it looked. I did not want her hair to look like she had gray hair. I definitely wanted it to be able to look, I definitely wanted you to be able to tell that she is blonde, like a dirty kind of blonde color hair. So I went ahead and did that. And then I am now doing her chest, so I'm going ahead and doing this with some light brown and then just shading the best I could. I never did anything like this, so I was just trying my best. And then I'm also doing like the bottom part of her dress, at least just like the white part of her wedding dress, and then her jacket. She does wear a black leather jacket, so I did a little bit of that on the side just so you can kind of see it, but I didn't have a lot of room down here to draw a lot, so I just tried my best.
Perfect.
So now what I'm doing for Tiff is I went ahead in with that glittery red, and I did that in the background, and then I'm going in with some top coat and just top coating this nail. And then once that's all done, I went ahead and did the nude base color on all of the nails, and then I'm going to do the same charm that I did on the Chucky hand, but I'm going to be doing something a little different. So on Tiff's hand side, I wanted to portray her love for unaliving, but also her love for Chucky, so I did a heart instead of just like the regular messy look that I did for the Chucky hand. So you guys will see how I do that. I just do like a blood drip type of heart, and then the little charm as well.
Perfect. Perfect.
And then you might notice something that I did differently here is I added some glitter on the drips on her hand. All of the glitter on her hand is going to have, or all of the drips, I guess, on her hand are going to have glitter. I wanted hers to be way more glam because Tiff is a glam girl, so I wanted to go ahead and portray that. So I just did that, and just to make it look a little more sparkly and pretty, this nail set and some low light like is going to be so beautiful. So I hope when she's wearing these, she gets so many compliments and people ask to see them because I love that. So yeah, I'm going ahead and outlining what's a lighter glittery red and just adding some more depth to the heart. This is kind of like unnecessary, but I just wanted to do it. And yeah, and then I go in with the details on the knife as well. And then I am going ahead and doing the black French tip, and then I'm going in with the red glitter and just ombreing it upwards. And this red glitter is from Nailzbydev. I think I showed it already, but I'm just ombreing it up. I knew I wanted to do the same type of glitter, like a same glitter type look, but I did not want to use the same glitter as the Chucky hand. I wanted to do the red one, so I went ahead in with the red. I just felt like Tiff, if she was real, she would love this more, so I went ahead and did that. So for the ring finger, I knew I wanted to do something else that kind of shows her love for Chucky. So I did decide to do her tattoo that she has. So I also realized that I didn't do it on her portrait. So I decided to just add a really quick little sketch, like nothing too crazy, but just something so you could see that it's there. And then I did decide to do the actual one right here. So I'm going in with the red gel polish, just like an actual classic red, like a dark red. And then I'm going in and filling it in. And I'm trying to do it right in the very center of the nail so that it's like front and center and it's not off to the side or too low or too high. And I also didn't want the heart to be too big. I wanted it to be like the perfect size. So once that's good, I just go ahead and cure that. And then once that's cured, I'm adding the detailing. And I did have to write out Chucky in like an old English font, which was kind of hard. Honestly, I struggled with it. I didn't show you guys, I cut it out, but I did try 3 different times. I had to do it. I did the whole entire thing in Old English and then erased it because it didn't fit. And then I did it again and it still didn't fit. And then I did it again, and 3rd time's a charm. It finally fit on the 3rd try. So yeah. And I'm just outlining with some actual black gel polish, the same one I used for the thumb and the pinky. And I did have an inspo photo from this from Pinterest. I just looked up Tiffany Chucky tattoo. So that's what I did.
Perfect.
And then on the Chucky hand, I did do stitches for the thumb and pinky as a little detail, but on Tiffany's, I wanted to do some little lips. So I did some lips, just one on each nail. And then that is it for the Tiffany hand. I just went ahead and top coated after I was done with that. I did add a few little details to the lips just to make them a little more detailed. And then I'm going in with my Nailzbydev top coat. And yeah, you guys, that was it for the set. This is what it looked like at the very end. This is how it looked, and it looks so amazing. Like, this is how it looked more like in real life, I guess. And then this is once it was done and filed in the box and all ready to go. I absolutely love the way Tiffany turned out. I'm like, I couldn't be more proud, honestly, of how I did it. Like, I tried looking back after and I only saw like 2 mistakes that I could have improved on. And honestly, I'm just so glad that I decided to do this nail set. I absolutely love it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as well. It is just so fun, and I highly recommend you guys try painting Chucky if you want to try something new and just, you know, take in account the tips that I gave you, and I feel like you'll do such a good job. And then this was the finished mess, you guys. This set took around 4 hours to do, and this was my mess afterwards. It was so insane. I just wanted to show you guys just because. But this is all the gels I used, like mixed together, a bunch of these, and then all of the things I just had, and it's like crazy to see the aftermath, but it was so worth it. And yeah, you guys, that is it for this nail set, and I'm really excited for the next video, so I'll see you then. Bye!